Howdy, my name is Rolando and this is DIY with RP, and today I'm going to show you my new little project. It is behind me over there, and let's go walk over and take a look. This is a 1998 Porsche 986, just a standard model. This particular one has a blown motor, about 225,000 miles, since the battery's dead and it has some electrical issues from being rained in for months, the rest of the car itself is solid. So what we're going to do is yank out the motor, suspension, interior, all of the electrical and everything, and we have another donor turd that we are going to use to swap everything into this good body. So I'm going to go inside and we can take a look at the donor turd, which is red 2003 Boxster S. Before we go inside to look at the red 986, I wanted to show some B-roll from when the car was picked up and we were bringing it off the street, putting it in the parking lot and getting it ready, you know, giving it a good looking over. I picked up the car at night and I didn't get a chance to really look at it. It did run. It was started in the guy's driveway, so we knew it was good. And I did actually attach a proof of life video to this, which will be coming up shortly. Here I give the car a little walk around and you can kind of see the state of it. It is not in great shape. It had been wrecked twice. It had a shade tree repair initially, and then this guy had wrecked it again. It was a head-on with a drunk driver. Spun him around, so the front end is bashed in, and then the rear end is bashed in pretty badly as well. I do intend to use as much of the suspension, braking system, interior, and of course the engine, and then everything else that's any good at all will be sold off. This is the donor turd. It's been smacked around a little bit, used and abused. It's got broken suspension, so the wheel no worky. It's broken in the back, which is fixable, and we can roll it around. I have the key. It's the back, a little damage on the back there. The trunk won't shut. But it's got nice brakes. All the suspension is good except for the broken arm. The engine did start up and run. The wheels are okay except for this one has a little gouge in it, which sucks. Open the door. The key does have the fob works, but the battery is kaput. This is the door panels, the interior. Everything is there. The old license plates. It's got some wheel locks and fuses. Carpet looks good. Buttons for this instead of those pulls. There's a lot of junk in here. Well, he does have the button that we need. The fuse panel is there. Let's see if, yes, the diagram is with it. It's got the puller, it's got everything. So this car is going to be very good. Everything is there. The radio is out, that's no biggie. Can use almost everything in here for this. The back carpet, everything looks good. The seats are all right, they could use a little clean. Yeah, man, this was a score. Didn't have to pay an arm and a leg for it either. Lock her back up because we don't want anybody stealing. Oh, look at that. These Porsche keys are terrible. Look at this. Anyway, that's it. Go take this key to the forklift back. Skate out of here. Heck yeah. And here we are on a different day. We're bringing the vehicle into the warehouse where it will be disassembled. It is a little bit tight. We have a fabrication, like an automotive off-road shop that sublets from us, and those guys have some pretty cool projects going on over there. So we just had to work around them, get it into our side of the building where we could get it on the lift. Here you can see we've already started. We pulled the wheels off, pulled the trunk and front fender. But then there's some other things that if you look, it was pulled off or broken in the accident. Things like the front center radiator is gone, so we'll probably have to pick one of those up. But overall, the running gear, the suspension, the things that we can actually use are in pretty good condition. So the process from here is just to start tearing it down. Compared to the other vehicle, the interior is in dramatically better shape. That tan or cream color is just disgusting, and after being rained in and just not well loved, it's so disgusting and dirty. It'll be nice to get this interior cleaned up really nicely. I think we're going to dye the carpet and clean up the seats a little bit. And while we use the car, which is the intent to drive it around for a bit, maybe put it on the track, have some fun with it, the actual intent is to get it back to running form, and then sometime in the future sell it and try to recoup and get something bigger and better. So now I'm plugging in the battery, and I want to go and open the top and start removing things from the back end of the car. So here you can see the dash lights up. Everything seems to work okay considering the state of the car. And here we go. So this is how you open the top. You just unlatch it. It's very similar to my S2000, but instead of being two latches, it's one in the center. Now I had to plug the button back in, put the e-brake up, and then it would help if I push the right side. So there we go. Now it's opening. Unfortunately, there's no audio for these clips because there's some music playing in the background, and YouTube doesn't like that. So here we remove the rain channel, and you can see the engine underneath. The top is held down on the backside with these little wire ball joint clips, or I don't know how you call them, but you just pop those off and then everything just gets loose. Funny enough, this rear section here, the soft top cover, actually is only held on with clips. So it's just like dowel pins and little metal clips. Once you pop those off, everything comes loose, and you just pull it off. It's super easy, super simple. I don't know how they keep this thing on the car with just little thin aluminum clips, but it seems to work. So once I got those loose, everything else just kind of came right out. And you can see I got it loose here, just checking, make sure there's no cables or anything, and it just popped right off. So on to the interior. Here you can see I'm removing some weather stripping. I want to take out as much of this rear interior as possible. There is a 10mm bolt that I didn't see holding that in place. I started removing the soft top hardware. It's literally 3 bolts and then some more of those little ball joint clip wire things, just holding that mechanism in place. Once you get that stuff loose, the soft top just lifts right off. So you can see here, it's a 2-man job, but you just lift it out of the car. There's nothing to it. Super easy. I got a hand from my buddy Chuck. He works on cars a lot, so you know, he's handy to have around on things like this. And he actually was able to get that little ball joint thing popped when I couldn't. It took a little more force than I was willing to give it, and I didn't want to break anything. But he was able to pop it off with no damage. So we got it off the car, put it on the shelf. This was actually given back to the previous owner of this vehicle, so I guess he could sell it or whatever. And then from here, we're going to remove the roll bar, which was also really easy. It looked like someone had already been in there. The bolts were loose. So we removed the bolts, and then there was one that was a little bit hard to get to. And I went after that when it took a little longer than I wanted it to, but I did get it out eventually. So everything's going pretty good. Got the top off, as you can see. The roll bar is next. It's literally one bolt in the back here, holding it on right there. It's really tricky to get to. A little hand tool will do it for you. And my little junk toolbox here, but I don't have everything, so just gotta break out the big tools from the big box. Come off. Hurry up. Alright, are you loose enough? Ah, scheiße. In the next video, I'll be tackling some work on my Honda S2000. I know it's not Porsche content, but it is also a convertible roadster. It is a 2006 model, so it's a few years newer than this. And I'll be digging into that, doing some maintenance and getting it ready for smog and fixing some other minor issues that it's had since I replaced the engine. After we fix that up, we replace the brakes and everything. And then I have a small DIY where I wire up the lift that we have the red Boxster on. It's not connected to the wiring in the building. We just want to wire it up to a 220 so we can plug it in and unplug it as needed. With the goal being that we'll use it for the purposes that we're using it for, and then eventually either take it down and put it somewhere else, or just take it down so we can use that space for something else. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a short video, but there's a lot more work to go. So please like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I'll see you soon.